Welcome, sketchbook heroes. We're going to be drawing faces. We've got our eye. We're going to be going into detail. We will be drawing this eye for the next 5 minutes. And then we've got, you can actually start right now. I've broken it down a little bit, looking at the angles so it doesn't confuse you. It actually makes it a little bit easier if you're looking at the angles and shapes instead of the curves. Curves can confuse. So let's stop sharing. Okay, stop sharing. There we go. All right, and let's draw it. Let's draw. Let's get rid of these little sketches. This was our warm-ups for the day. We got 5 minutes, so we're gonna spend just 5 minutes on this drawing, this eye, and the construction of it. I will use a pencil. Let's go with purple. All right, so we've got the circle. I'm going with the top eye. You can see there's that eye, and I'm sketching it in. Getting the pupil in now, right about that big. Notice how big it is. Circle is very basic, and same height, same width. When you draw the second one, that's where you get proportions. And you can see how big and how wide it is. Notice the width here and notice the width here. I don't know, I think, yeah, it is thirds. I would say it's thirds. So it's thirds. And don't let the outside thirds fool you. You want to look at this area here and this area here. I think I made my center a little bit bigger. That's fine. All right. We're just blocking it in. What's important is how this eyelid, the eyelid overlaps that. But before we get to the eyelid, let's do the pupil. The iris, that's the iris, and then the pupil is where the light goes in, about that big. And this changes size, depends. Depends if you're in the dark. If you're in the dark, what happens? You want to see more light, so this gets bigger. Or when you're surprised, this gets bigger as well. Actually, I'm just going to draw it. And there's a highlight in it, so we're going to have to erase. Babushka. All right.
It wasn't me. I'm drawing. It wasn't me.
All right.
So what are we drawing today?
Yeah. I kicked him up.
You're faster than me.
That's all right. Yeah. It's practice. All right, here we go. All right, so now the you can see how I've got the iris, the pupil, and then the eyelid. I'm gonna go straight here, cut it straight. I'm gonna try to get my straight edges, and then from here down like that. Those two angles, and then here this angle down here. Then you have that angle right where that is. Then you've got the duct, the little duct that kind of comes up here. And the whole bottom one just curves. Oh my gosh. All right, let me get that. There's my eye. Oh, let me zoom in. Zoom in. That's good. Yeah, I did. The last week's video was really good. And then I was looking at another video and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't explain it that well. So, you know, it's like, and it's all good. We're just here doing it for fun. And I can go back in those videos and make them better or use them to improve myself. Yeah, because I wish I could have it like to the side. You can see what I'm seeing. All right, let's see. The eyelid. There's that angle here. Okay, Google, stop. Jeez, that's 5 minutes already. All right, let me just do it really quick then. I'll just wind it up in a minute. There's a thickness of the eyelashes. These eyelashes, there's a whole thickness to it. And that's that when you're beginning, people don't see that, the thickness of line. And then they do taper as well. So that's one thing too, is beginning art students do, is they make the eyelashes look like spider legs. All right, I'm gonna keep that highlight right there. I'm gonna just go really quick, just as quickly as I can go. Try to stay focused. Use your eyes to stay focused. And if you need more time on this, yeah, it's in the chat. Oh, that's going to help too. When on the videos, I'm going to, I don't have it yet, but I will be adding the links as well in the videos on YouTube. So if you go to the videos, also subscribe. That way you'll get the videos when they do come out, when they first come out. Now, a little more detail. There's the iris. The iris has a little bit of things in there, little notches. And there's names for all this stuff. Yeah, we'll see what you're struggling with. And that's the whole thing. That's where the learning is. And it's good to struggle. It's good to have that struggle. You're like, oh, and then when you get it, it's like, oh, I got it. Right? And sometimes you struggle till you get it. All right, so this has a little bit of a thickness on that eyelid. And there's also shading in here, because even the whites of the eyes aren't completely white. You want to actually save your white for the highlight. And even then, sometimes highlights are not completely white either. Slightly cool or slightly warm. This is a good warm up. We're spending some time, more than 5 minutes here. Thickness of the eyelash. The eyelid in the bottom, you can see the thickness of the eyelid on the bottom. And that's kind of like a piece of clay. Why don't we do that? So I have my clay here. You have the eyeball. There we go. There's my eyeball. Rolled out a piece of clay. And then you have the eyelids, and there's a thickness to them. And the thickness, you do see the thickness on the bottom eyelid more than the top. And there's this thickness to it. You can see this thickness, and that thickness just kind of like wraps around that eyelid eye. You see, there we go. There we go. And then you got the top eyelid. It's a nice soft clay. And then you have the top eyelid. And the top eyelid, I guess the eyelashes really don't let you see. There we go. Get the idea. We're doing sculpture. Yeah, that's why when it's important to practice form, seeing form for advanced. We'll see where everybody's at. Joy comes from finding and solving problems that you want to solve. This is things that I want to solve and want to figure this stuff out. But if you don't, any little problem will stop you. Any little problem, any like our Zoom bombers, any little thing. But if you have that why, that's why I start with why. Start with a strong why. Why are you doing this? And I know why. I know why I'm doing this. I've got my why. The why will get you through the what, the how, all that stuff. All right, so I like doing this, seeing this shape. I kind of go off of this eyelash and see this shape in here, that space, and that helps me bring in the eyebrow. And then the shape of that eyebrow. Try to capture the shape. Thickness. And this actually is all shaded. And people asked about shading. All right, so shading, I'm shading like with hatching. I did find a really good video on shading. But you want to see the values and practice shading values. So you would draw, this is a good exercise. It's a good exercise.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, well. Where is someone? Solid set. They're just coming back. See, this is patience and persistence. They're really at the persistence. I don't know if this is an alphabetical order.
I got rid of Seth.
Oh, you got it? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. They must be bored, Eladio. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I got to go back to school. That's good. I mean, yeah. The creative mind is never bored. They're getting creative. They're doing something. All right, so this is really important when you're shading the eye around here to really make the eyelid pop. You don't, this outside part gets shaded, and then you'll see this eyelid kind of really pop right there. This colored pencil or a soft pencil really gives you smooth shading. So your pencils are important at this level of the game. This level of the game. Before it wasn't. Now we're getting into value. So when you get into value, this is the I kind of constructed my eye already. I'm happy with it. And I'm actually going in with the values, the lights and the darks and the shading. There's several ways to shade. Hatching is my favorite. And hatching really quickly, it's just like putting in a layer. Oh, that's what I was saying. You usually just need 5 shades of gray. You don't need a lot. You want see how dark your pencil can go. It's the darkest dark, and then the lightest light, and then everything else in between. What's the lightest light? What's the lightest? And it's good to just do a really quick, especially when you're dealing with new materials, something you've never really worked with before. I can see this is my lightest light I can get, and this is my darkest dark. And I'm just shading it in. I'm just shading it in. And if you want to spend time, you use a ruler and practice accuracy. That. There's that shade. And the white would be shade. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you really only need 5 shades. You can see that darkness. I can bring that in here. This is the darkest part where the pupil is. Push that a little harder. Somebody's one of the questions was how hard to push, and this is where you get that scale. This scale up here, you can see it. This is press as hard as you can, And if like this pencil, you'll see different materials. And I don't have and I do have a set of H's and HBs. H is hard, and that's light. So H4 is a lighter pencil. H6 is an even lighter pencil. It goes that way. In the middle, you have HB, and then you have B's, your B's, and that's the darkness of the pencil. So that would be the B's. So a 6B is usually the darkest you'll go. But you've seen me, and I've got a lot of HBs. I've got these HBs right here. It's an HB. I've done drawings with just an HB pencil. So I'm putting more here, making this darker. Looking back and forth, making it thicker as well. I might have to bring this back as well. More eyelid. And the different values, softening it up. It's looking good. All right, let's get drawing that. I think we're getting really close. We can get going on that portrait. That's going to take a while. 8:12. Are we recording? Oh yeah, I think we are. Yes, we are. And we'll see how that turns out. Well, last week's recording, I'm really happy with. All right, let's see. I'm adding a little bit of shadow, a little bit of right underneath, and we can actually look back and forth and shoot for accuracy and get it more accurate. But I'm not going to worry about that. That's good enough for now. I think so. All right, there's my eye. Wasn't centered. Oh, your eye drawing looks so creamy. I bet. Oh yeah, there you go. Ah, solid. Yeah, solid set. Very nice. Gosh, I can't get rid of that. Oh.
I enabled the waiting room just because they were trying to come back in again. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work. The bigger the dream, the bigger the team. That's definitely, you see, that's the price of admission. Get that teamwork going, and then we can, boom. That way I look at your drawing, say, you suggest something. Okay. Oh, Mary's suggesting this. We've got to draw this. She's a team player. The bigger the dream, the bigger the team. And yeah, because we have these little challenges, the patience and the persistence, and knowing, how to cut them off real quick and what to do. What can we do? Right. And there's things we can do. We'll even if we just charge $1, that'll get rid of them. Like, oh man. Or I think having that Google form, having a Google form will help. All right, let's get going. I'm gonna let's break down this drawing. Let's go. I'm getting don't let it get me tossed here. Here we go. Let's ride this horse. Okay, so we got where's the drawing? Not that one. Those are actually good. There's Michael Landon. Yeah, that one. Okay, so that'll be perspective next. Where is she at? Oh, there she is. All right. Oh, she's already big. I don't want to go too small. Well, I do want to focus on her. So I'll probably around that big. So if you want a screenshot, there we go. And this is a tough angle. So if you have never drawn the face before or don't know about proportions, this is going to be, makes it a little more challenging. All right, so we start off with the big circle on the head. So let's do that. Finally, let's get here. There's quite a journey here. We started at 7. Wow, it's already 8:15. All right, let's see. Managing our time here. All right, so here's a circle right in there. The head is actually tilted slightly. There's a slight tilt. So if I do try to center that, there's the head actually I would say, yeah, you can see it going into that area. And then we're also kind of looking down on it too. So it's not an exact same, but we'll use this as a guide and see how it's off center there. We'll use that as a guide. And then what to look for. We've got really strong angle here, really strong angle there, really strong angle here. And then of course that strong angle. I wouldn't worry about the little curves, we'll get them. We want to block this in first. Block in the big shapes, block in these big shapes. And if you see them as straight, that's makes it easier because then we can just curve it. Adding curves is a lot easier. But what's important is getting that angle. So you can see it from here to here. It opens up. And then I usually get it from right here, this tip of this eye to that tip of this eye. And there's that. There's a slight angle to that. Let's see that. The center of the eye down, she's got really small lips. You can see the nose to the lips, seeing these relationships. These are the relationships we're looking for. Usually the eye, you can see she's got small lips. Look from the center of the eye down to here. So her lips are actually smaller than average. Because usually the mouth or the lips can come out that way. She's got full lips. We got that triangle there, right in that circle. So we'll start off with the circle and we'll try to get all those angles in. And then the hair, you can see the hair kind of masked in. There's a lot of little curves and stuff in it. All right, so this is what we're gonna be doing for the next 45 minutes. All right, let's do this. All right, ooh, all right. I need to send a text out real quick. I think we have this in the chat. Any questions before we start? Oh, we have people, Carlos, should we let him in? Uratia, I don't know if that's, is a bummer. It's kind of late. It's kind of late letting people in. He's not a familiar name. Should we just kick him out?
You know, or make people show their faces again, Eladio, because we're going to be doing this for like 45 minutes, right?
Yeah, let's, Carlos, can you show your face? If not, I'm going to kick you out. All right, there you go. Hey, Carlos. All right, welcome. We're going to be drawing this face. All right, let's see. I just need to send up. All right, here we go. All right, so let me put it in the chat again, Chattanooga, and then we'll get going on this drawing. Clear all drawings. Oh, I could have saved it. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that option. Copy it. We have a new person, so I'm putting it in the chat. There we go. Oh, gosh. Terrible. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's get our sketchbook. Let's get the sketchbook. Let's do it in the sketchbook. I'm gonna take my time. We're gonna. I wish I could again put it. We'll do this eventually. Hopefully next time. But actually, yes. By the next time, which is in 2 weeks, the next time we have this class, I will figure out. That's going to be one of my goals. One of my. To try to figure this out. And let's use, I'm going to use one of my HB pencils here. I'm going to got this blade, and it's good to, and you can use a sharpener. I have all these sharpeners here, but when you get to, I don't know, nicer pencils, I like using a blade and just pushing my thumb out. It is a little more dangerous, but you have more control with the tip. And you get more use out of the pencil. So, and then you can actually even use some of the, for shading. There we go. I'm just going to get the lead out. Get the lead out. All right, so we start off with our circle. I'm going to start off with our circle. I'm going to go a little smaller. Oh, that's a good size. Because once I have my circle, you can see I'm kind of putting it in. Here we go. Sketching it in. There's a lot of circles to choose from. Oh, let's zoom out. There we go. There's a lot of circles to choose from, but I'm just putting it in there, like sketching it in. I think we might be upsetting them, so they might want to come back with a vengeance. Hopefully not. And then I can see more or less how the head's going to fit. Here's the hair, the chin. We did have this at angles, and this coming in on this side a little bit more. And then this angle here. Watch your angles. This angle. All right, let me see if I can be clearer with my circle so you can see where I'm at. I'm gonna try to go a little bit dark with my circle. I usually don't do this. I usually just like, because I can see it. I know which circle I'm seeing, but like here I did a lot of hundreds of circles, so we're using that one. Then I'm getting this angle here, right in there, adding a little bit more of an angle. It goes right to about that circle part, and then it comes down. The nose is there. Erase this a little bit. And then we got this angle here. Then the lips are right in there, kind of like a circle shape. Now we are losing a lot of detail, but good thing I kind of drawn the lips before and stuff like that. Some of it's unclear, and it's okay. We draw it unclear. All right, then the hair goes back this way. There's the nose, there's eye angle. And these are the thirds. So the distance, I can measure it. From the center of the eye, that's the center, to the nose. Looks like it's the same from there to the nose to the chin. So I'm measuring, I'm seeing this measurement, and then the forehead, about the same up there. And the hair goes on that. All right. The distance between the eyes is an eye space, but it looks pretty wide. The distance here is definitely less. I might have to bring it out more. I'm getting the placement of my eyes. So I can see these 2 points here. That's the distance between. This should be like an eye space, but it looks like it's a little bit more. I might have to bring my side of the face out. I'm going to start with the eyes and really focus on the eyes and then bring it out from there. Right, so we've got this distance here. That should be the same distance for this eye here. That looks good. And then we've got that distance here. So I'm looking at these little distances. I got a little, I'm gonna bring down my pencil a little bit. There we go. So I'm looking at the spacing of these proportions. So here's an eye, there's another eye. Here's probably like a half an eye or less. And here's the eye as well, because the face is at an angle. And this eye is a little bit smaller too, actually, because of the angle. So we're gonna make the eye just a little bit smaller. So we're gonna get this one over here. Yeah, that's already actually right to there. That's gonna be a little bit smaller. We're gonna have to bring this out a little bit further, or I am. Some of you might already have it. But this is the process. Seeing the shape of the head, seeing the proportions. The eyes are usually like in the middle of the head. You can see that's the middle. Let's check these proportions. Let's see if it is the middle. So I'm gonna go there, down to here, actually. And this is good too. Oh, I saw a measuring tool. There's a really good video actually. Can't see, it's about the middle. Measuring tool to help with these kind of measurements. Let me put that video. I know exactly where it's at in the chat. It's portraits. I saved it. There it is. My favorite way, I think it was that one.
In the middle of your portrait?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a good one. Yeah, there it is. I'll put it in the chat. They sound like a 12-year-old. Yeah, they do. All right, Sade. I know it was a tough one. A tough night. A tough. But we're hardcore heroes. We're not giving up. We're at it. We're at it. All right. We're still trying to break this down and trying to shoot for accuracy. I'm really shooting for accuracy and to explain the proportions here. So we've got one eye and measuring this stuff. Oh, that would be so cool. I mean, that tool that I saw earlier today too. I saw it. Let's do this. I'm just going to get a Post-it. So we got our measurement here. So you can see the measurements. There's an eye. See, that's an eye shape here. And this one's going to be a little bit smaller. See how I have it a little bit smaller than the eye. That one's a little bit smaller. She does have her head tilted a little bit. It's kind of a little awkward. So that's good. Then if you triangulate or see how that fits in the circle, that should be good. And that nose comes out about that much. And then that circle for the mouth, that angle, I think that all kind of looks pretty good. Let me get my eyebrow, so more or less that shape. I'm kind of like seeing this shape in here, the eyebrow, these shapes. And it's almost, this is talk about abstract. Somebody said, let's draw abstract. You kind of have to see it in the abstract, see the shapes in the abstract. Don't forget the forehead. Notice how much forehead there is. We might have to add more hair on top. Might have to bring that up a little bit. That angle's there, that's good. All right. And then that shape here, this hair. I'm gonna block everything else in. We got that, we got this whole mass. There's like this mass part right in here. That curve. And this, a lot of dark hair, a lot of shading. Another little curve here. The hair kind of comes down from this chin right here, right? This part comes down. A lot of curves too, but I'm just gonna mass it in. There's a lot of curves. I kind of showed the curves there. I'm just gonna mass it in. I'm not worried about that detail. Because we can be here for like days, depending on how much detail. Well, we started with the warm-ups. Oh, it's because there was a lot of requests. All right, and then there's the shoulder. Shoulder comes up. I'm looking here at that cheek, and I can see right off that cheek on this side, it goes up like at this angle. And then all this back here is shaded. All of it's kind of like shaded. All right. I'm going to focus on the eyes and the face, and then just bring it out and wherever we're at in about 50. Let's put a timer. Let's put 20-minute timer. Okay, Google, 20-minute timer. All right. So wherever we leave off for 20 minutes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this left eye. The left eye is looking to the left. Well, they both are. I'm focusing on the eyelash. Eyelash goes from thick to thin. Just broke my leg. Thick to thin here in this curve. From there to there. It goes really thin there. Right to that point, and dark. Not really dark, but maybe we should have drawn it bigger. Let me zoom in so you can see, because let's focus on the eyes. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know what? We need bigger paper. We're learning. But what's important is the process. How are we doing this? How are we breaking it down? All right. So this eye here, the pupil is an oval right in here like that. It's an oval. And it's got a little bit of a highlight right in there. So I've got a highlight. Try to keep that highlight. Just shade all that in. That's it. All dark. Now, I'm going to focus again on the eyelash. It does get thicker, it does come down here. I'm trying to capture that shape. And then it curves onto the eyelid, and then it goes down to a point. But it's thicker on the left. It's thicker on this left side. And then you can see a little bit of the eyelid, like I showed you in the clay model here, that I have this little part right here, that part right there. That part right there is right here, right in there, because of the angle. So there's a little bit of that thickness of the lid. And then the inside part of the eye coming out here. Let's go from thick to thin. Now I'm going to look at this shape of this eye. Comes in. And then there's the little duct. Oh, it's dark. A little sketch in there. Let's erase that. Right in here, there's a little bit of a line, a little bit of a shade. Let's capture that eyelid. Just going up and around or I'm already shading as I'm going through this. Although it's a good habit to just sketch it out real quick. I kind of see this. I mean, the bottom is really not clear. It's like the resolution. But there's little bits of eyelash, really just soft shade. So that's about as much information as I'm going to put in it. I'm looking at my, there we go. I got the lid, I got the eyelash. Let me get the shape of the eyebrow up here, I think. It's gonna come in, then I'm probably gonna put a little bit more cheek on her, a little bit than from what I have right here. I'm looking at this distance from this eye to the cheek. I'm seeing I need to pull it out a little bit. It's all these little adjustments that you need to do in looking at this space. Let me clean it up. So I have my eye, and I can use that as a unit. Let's get that. I'm pretty happy with it. Well, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect, but let's get this nose in. Very triangular. It's there between these two. The light is hitting it. So that's a whole other thing. It's more than just value. It's really light. And this is a good exercise for painting. That video that I put in the chat is really good. It's really good, actually. And it's only 12 minutes long. So I highly, highly suggest it. Yeah, there's going to be videos that are probably going to be like mandatory. All right, I just pulled this in a little bit. Like right in here, I'm looking at this shape, this negative shape in there, the negative space. Bringing that up. And there we go. Yeah, probably less warm up. Less warm up. I did get rid of some of the pictures. We didn't do all of them. We got rid of some of the Wendy's or Alice's, I think. Probably warm up, probably a good 15 minutes. You can warm up on your own. Practice just drawing shapes, practice drawing forms. All right. Okay, I'm looking back and forth. And I think my eye, bring it down a little bit. Yeah, these little adjustments. Gotta draw bigger. So I don't have to zoom in this much. It's okay, get that eyebrow. I'm looking at the space in between. And then the thickness of the eyebrow. Shading it. Comes in. The video I did share has to do with painting, actually, painting portraits. I'm going to go ahead and shade in here, a slight shade right in here, push this back. There's a little depth in here, pushing this back in there. And in here, she's got a little bit of rouge, a little bit of blush. I'm trying to get it really soft, as light as you can, but just laying it down, just laying down a little bit of lead. This also makes that eyelid pop. That little eyelid right there is popping because I'm doing the shading on this side. And I'm just really softly, just scraping back and forth, trying to smoothen it out. You can see notice how that pops right in there. All right, that shape looks good. Let me bring some more of that shade in here on this side, just really slightly, just really feathering the paper. Just dusting it. And here, this line, softening it, this one up, opening it up. On this side too. I'm gonna erase the center, because sometimes you can shade your lines in and you can't get rid of them. because you actually shaded the lines into the drawing. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've done it. And if you haven't done it, you'll probably do it. And you're like, oh, this is what he's talking about. That's experience. That's XP points. All right, we got one eye done, I think, and I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so we got my spacing. There should be an eye space, or actually more than this eye space. This eye is a little bit smaller. And then we've got the eye space, and there's the eye. All right, so we're gonna go here. Curves up. I try to catch it. You know, I can see my guidelines still. And they erase the center part. And let me go from here to there, bring it down. I think I'm straightening her out a little bit. I don't know if I got that curve just right. I didn't, that's okay. Yeah, portraits are the toughest thing to draw, I think, because if they're not accurate, we see faces all day. If something's off, yeah, it's awful. You can really tell. All right, let's get this eye. It is kind of really almond shape. It really comes down to a point, and then it curves up. I want to draw it bigger. So let's see what I'm talking about, but I'm zoomed in, so that's good. And then this part of the eye curves just out like this. And this is where the practice of drawing eyes comes in. So many different eyes. All right, here's the pupil right in there. And we just see that curved line. Let's see, get a little bit of a highlight right in there. Right there. There's my highlight. Shade it all in. Hoping you're getting this. All right, all quiet on the western front. All right, I'm looking at the eyes, see how they line up, see how they go. This side, the eyelash is kind of like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of the that thickness, this, but on the other side. So this bottom thickness also is on this other side. There is a slight that width of the lid. So we have the inside part, and then you have the outside part. The outside part. See, there's two lines right in there. That two lines. And the bottom line has the eyelash, especially on this side. So I'm going to soften it up and kind of also make it kind of like part of the shading. Bring it out and soften it up. You can't really see the lashes. Soften all this. I'm going to try to soften it up so it's not clear. If anything, if you need to go in there and maybe rub it a little bit. I don't suggest rubbing. But it's, when you're first learning, that's fine. There we go. There's chamois, there's all kinds of stuff. And this is where we would spend a lot of time with the shading. One of the workbooks I want to do is actually have the drawing already done. And then you just shade. It's almost like color by number, but shade by number. But it would be a shading book, a shading workbook. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing, actually working on. I think that would be really good. So if somebody steals my idea, no, I'm just gonna try to, that's good. I got to put it out there so I can put it out there before somebody else does. But if you have the idea and you get it out there, hey, that's great. There's challenges in that. It's more than just having the idea, it's executing. How do you execute? How do you make it a reality? Right. It's not just the idea. It's like, oh, I thought of that. But actually doing it, making it a reality. All right, so I'm putting in the eyelid. It's right about there, that thickness. It does go darker on this side. I mean, I'm not capturing, I don't know if we're gonna get to capture all the subtle shades. The subtle shades. Actually, there's shade on this side. Different materials. Great choice picture. Yeah, there's a lot happening as far as the light, the way the light comes down, even the light, there's shadows of the hair. All right, so I've got this line here, the shape of the shade. Bringing that up and then trying to get the thickness of the eyebrow. That eyebrow. I'm looking back and forth at my picture and at my drawing. Hopefully you have a good reference and it's a good size and it's at a good distance where you can look really back and forth. If it's a big change in size, if it's a big, and the video actually talks about that. Yeah, the video is really good, the one that I put in there. It'll be, all right, so when I create these web pages in the advanced part, we're gonna have one for portraits, a page just for portraits, and those videos will be in there. All right, so there's all this shade in here. I hate that I just jumped to topic. The shade of the hair. Yeah, so those videos will be on that page for portraits. And we'll have another page for perspective, just like that person did. All right, here we go. This forehead right here, really, she's got a really strong profile on this part right here. This part right here should kind of like get that shape in there. It does push in slightly and then push out on this ridge of the eye. And that's, oh, if you know the structure of a face, and I've got some skulls here, but that eyebrow, there's a bone there. There we go. That bone comes out that way. I think I'm happy with my eyes. All right, need to take off. See you next week. That sounds fun. Good night, Cindy. Casual. I've got some skulls here. Casually. I know. That's funny. All right, look at that. I know. This takes a while. Might not even get to perspective. No, we will. We will do perspective tonight. We will do perspective. Yeah, casually. Where's my skull at? Scully. Yeah. Those eyes are very nice. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So you have this. There's a ridge right here, and then the okay. Skulls. Zoom out a little bit. Zoom out. Zoom back in. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it's all good. Now, where'd my pencil go? Shut another one. There you go. There you are. Yeah, so next time we'll spend less time on the warm-up. I think 10-15 minutes would be good. And then spend more time on these drawings. But warm-ups are important. So here I'm getting the nose now. There's a lot of shade in here. All this is really shaded the way the light's really coming in. And we can actually even talk about that. But that's when you get into the shading. You know, shading really lightly and smoothly. Okay, so that dark on the outside here, just to break the pencil down. By doing this on the dark on the outside, then it really smooths my lead out. And then I can actually use that now that the lead is smooth to actually do smooth shading. Let's erase these guidelines. So my shading is going to be a lot smoother. I've never did that before. I would just go straight into the shading. But if you push down the pencil and kind of like push on it hard, and that kind of breaks down that edge, and then you use that, and you can get some really soft shading. All this is in here. Might have to bring that in a little bit more. Yeah, just bringing it in a little bit more. See, just really subtle. All right, we're gonna do this nose. Shading around it. I've got that triangular shape. And I'm seeing the values, these values, because even all this is in light, but it's not completely white. Luckily, I broke it down. See if make sure I'm in the right spot with my pencil, and bring it over again. Really lightly, very lightly shade all that whole area. And the nose starts popping. All this is going to be in shade in here. I can actually even push the shade a little bit more. That's good. All right, so I've got that triangular shape. It does go a little bit darker in here. Actually, let me, the bridge of the nose, bring it in a little bit closer and shade in that, hold it, push this back just slightly in here, all in here. Pushing that back just slightly. Trying to keep it as light as I can. All in here, let's see. All in here, it's really light. Light. There we go. See, that softens it right in there, that forehead. I'm just shading in one direction, even though they broke up. I'll be here all night. Don't quit your day job. All right, here we go. So on this nose, it goes a little bit darker right in there. Okay, Google, stop. All right, that's our time, but we still have more to go. All right, I'm gonna get the nostrils in there. The nostrils, try to really aim for this, see the bulb of the nose. There's like this bulb. See this U, that bulb. And then the nostrils kind of like attach themselves to that, kind of like that bulb. And then you have this part here that kind of like attaches itself around the nostrils. All right, so I'm gonna go a little darker. Let me zoom in. Oh, I'm already pretty zoomed in. So you can see what I'm talking about to get that shape. So this nostril shape right there, it's a little straight on that side. Then the bottom curves a little bit more. So it's straighter on the top and then it curves on the bottom. And then let's do the other side. Same thing, straight on that side, and the bottom's a little more curved. I'm trying to capture that form. Yeah, I don't know. These are very challenging drawings. Very challenging. This is definitely the advanced stuff. Looking at my spacing, going back and forth. Got my nose in. And there's a little bit of underneath, a shade. Then the lips start coming in. I'm going to zoom out and then zoom in, do the lips so you can see the eyes. Some of the shapes are pushed a little bit. They are pushed. They're a little exaggerated, but it's all good. So let's do the lips. Maybe a little more shade underneath the nose. I'm just like really just slightly scruffing it. Let's put a little more shade up here. Fix that nose a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe what I'm doing as I see my little adjustments. And if, you know, that's where you get closer to that basket court, that basket that you're trying to shoot for, being able to see those little adjustments. And when you're first doing it, we'll see how everybody does tonight. We might have to go to, we'll see. All right, so now the lip. All right, so I got that little shade that's underneath the nose. The lip has a couple parts. It's that part there, like straight almost. Actually, there's a slight curve, and then curve down this way. curve down that way. It's like a bat with its wings down. It's like a bat with its wings down. There we go. That's what it is. Bat with its wings down to the middle of that circle that we drew. And then the top is just rounded, shaded, and has some highlights, and try to keep the highlights. Shade the bottom half. And usually the top lip is darker, but all her lips are really dark. And she's got a really nice little highlight right there, right on the lip. Yeah, this is really hard to, we'd have to draw it bigger, really spend time on seeing the lights and the different, yeah. But for a first ever after 80 plus meetup events, that's not bad. We're gonna, so we'll see how everybody does. We'll see if we need to spend more time on just one drawing or we need to do, see wherever everybody's at. Because you guys will be the crew. You guys will be like, okay, all right, let's talk. Let's, and if, yeah, whatever your chats are, your messages in the event. Let's see. All right, so she does have teeth. I'm just getting the shape of it down here, and then a little bit of a part at an angle like that. See, just right in there. And then at the bottom it's all dark. So it's really just the upper teeth right there. So there's a space for the bottom teeth in there. Just shaded it in. And then that lip kind of comes in. I can soften a lot of stuff up. I make little circles to make it softer because you don't really want sharp edges on some of the stuff. All right, here we go. The bottom lip rounded. Really nice highlights. Let's see. Shade out. Shade on this side, a little bit darker. Yeah, it's pencil control, how hard. That's where drawing that value scale. Yeah, that value scale. And that's probably a practice. Shade. Try to get that roundness of that lip. I'm gonna pull it out a little bit here, pulling it, pushing it. This little dark area in there. Getting it a little bit darker. Going in circles to make it soft. And here too, a little bit of circles, soften it up, darken it up. And then there, darken this up as well. Bring that dark in. I'm trying to capture those highlights, but no, so I don't think it's going to happen. It's really hard because it's my drawing's a little on the small side. Probably have to draw it bigger. But I know there's highlights right there. I'm trying to keep them. It's not that clear because it's really small. If you zoom out, you can see how it's starting to look all together. Zoom in, soften these lips up a little more, bringing that darkness in, bringing the darkness up as well. Just slowly building it up and trying to keep the form, the shape. Trying to keep that shape, that form. All right, we're going over time. There we go. And that's pretty good. Looking back and forth, the bottom lip. Yeah, paint wise. I don't know if we'll get to that level. All right, I think I like that. It's a little dark. I'm looking at the screen and making those adjustments from the screen. Like here, I can see that probably needs to be softened up a little bit more right here. Soften that up, soften. Wherever you see like a difference, you can actually soften it up. Like this actually even here, I'm gonna actually darken this up right at that edge. Right at that edge is a little bit darker. So just darken that edge of that lip. And here in this bottom lip here is a little bit darker. So I'm pushing that a little bit darker in there. There we go, that's good. Now I'm looking at this negative space, bring that out, around, up. Let's zoom out a little bit. This neck. Hopefully you're looking at the picture and you have a good copy of it. I don't know. All right, let's do this hair. There's this little wiggle in this hair here. I kind of already started shading, but there's this like S shape. There's the S right in there. And that S. I see this S right there. Comes in right at the cheek. It curves out. There's this like this shape. I see this teardrop shape. All this is shaded. There we go. There's that teardrop shape. Just keep going. I'm going to just shade everything out. I'm going to go actually kind of dark. All this area in here, I can give it more form later. And it's getting a little scratchy. I need to really work this pencil down. If anything, I might even have to go in with a blade. I can go in with a blade to kind of get that little softness, even use some of that lead, rub it in. There we go. So how hard to press? Yeah, so you're gonna have to do a, you're gonna have to do a value scale. Practice values. And how hard to press? Well, each pencil will be a little bit different on how hard to press. Shade all this. All this is really dark on the outside. Now really, once you get the darks, then you can really start seeing some of the values. Like here, this whole neck, let me zoom out. This whole neck right here is in shade. Make sure I'm getting my pencil right. I can go in here and just like lighten up my pencil and then shade all this in here, like right, this whole shade of the neck. Really quickly. That shade, try to get it nice and smooth and even, which I didn't. It's all right. It's pretty, you can go in a different direction. If you need to go and lighten things up, or you can actually darken things as well. There's like her shirt or blouse. It's kind of like that. That's interesting. Something like this. Trying to see that space, this hair, all this right here is going to be dark. This is going to be a little bit lighter. My pencil's giving me a little bit of a problem. Let me give it some more lead. It's not soft. It's got a little. It is 9:01. Wow, we're still at this one. We will do the perspective. Might have to cut it a little short. We'll talk a little bit about perspective if you're there. And we'll get into the perspective. But you can kind of see the face coming in. I'm looking back and forth, and I'm this eye maybe a little smaller, a little darker, because really the values, as you start going darker and darker, building on the darks, because some things are really dark. There we go. And I'm adding a little more form to that. This is just an HB. I really need some B pencils. Some B pencils to get that a little bit darker, but I'm going to push my HB as much as I can. I'm going to push it. It gets a little shiny, but that's okay. You get the darkness all in here, all that darkness, the little curves of the hair. I'm going to shade all this background. Just really quick, just put a quick shade in it. There we go. feel like little nibs. Okay, so there we go, back and forth. Oh, I'm not showing. I'm too zoomed in. Just going back and forth and practicing. Here's good shade practice. It's back and forth really fast. I'm holding it down. I'm not up. I have it down at an angle. Notice how the pencil is smooth and soft here now because I've worn it down. Notice how, look at that, how it shades. That's where I was pushing a little bit harder. But now notice how smooth the shading is on this pencil because I have it shading in one direction. All right, there's highlights on her hair. So I'm just shading the background, pushing that back. You can't have light without dark. Go shade all this hair in. Just shade all this light area too, just really lightly push it back. Just for my sketch here. Even this eye, I can push this eye with a little bit of shading because it's really popping out too much now. It's not completely white. It's really, really lightly. It's like doing brain surgery. It's amazing. Like, oh my gosh, I could have been a brain surgeon. You know, it really depends on where you focus, your skills, your ideas. Learning, I mean, learning anatomy, you're learning all this stuff. And this is why I think for kids, they should know how to learn how to do at least the basics. This is actually above and beyond with the shading and everything. But drawing the portrait stuff. So, yeah, we've talked about the proportions and all that stuff. That's why I'd be like, okay, watch this video. And it would be there. And then when we get to this again, you'll do better. Let me sharpen this up a little bit. A bit darker. Here. Up here, hair goes up, this dark area. All this is shaded. There's a little bit of texture in here. Like that. And then it goes to light. There's light hitting at the top of the head, right there at the top of the head. Try to keep that light. All this is dark. Oh. I'm in class. There we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. A lot of little things. I'm kind of simplifying some. It depends on how. I mean, we can try to get some of the highlights the way, I mean, with paint and stuff, because they're really light tones. I mean, we're using two different mediums here. We're drawing a painting, and here I went dark, and then here I just brought some of the dark out. Let's see, just like that. I don't know if you can see how I did that. And then just doing, and yeah, just do it for fun. I have years of experience, so if you compare to despair, don't compare your work to mine. If I see somebody out there that's like, wow, you know, that's awesome. You know, if you're getting it, that's amazing. Just keep at it. It takes time. And then just, you know, it's the journey. It's the hero's journey, sketchbook hero's journey. It's the journey. It's all about the journey. It's not the destination. Yeah, you might, you get a nice drawing, but the journey, the shading, the looking for the proportions, the practice. Yeah, because everybody wants to have the muscles, but what it takes to get those muscles, not everybody's willing to do what it takes. Yeah, I think that was yeah, I put that in the meetup. All right, I think there's a little bit more of an angle to that. And then I'm going darker with it. So I can push it a little bit darker. That edge. Pushing something a little bit darker. Yeah, I do need more dark in here. Pushing it even darker. All right, have to go. All right, Kelly Roberts, thank you for joining us. Thanks, Mary. Yes, good night, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, wow. It's all good. It's all good. All right, hopefully, yeah. So those of you hardcore heroes, all right, sticking it out through the thick and the thin and everything. We are taking this as a longer drawing. And you can still make adjustments, erase stuff, do the shading. Like right here, that's a really strong edge. There is a little bit more shadow. See, I'm bringing in the shadow in here now. I'm bringing some of those values, just pushing it. And my pencil is really soft now. And if you probably take a microscope to it, you can probably see it's really soft. You can feel it. I feel it. There's a little skurs, what they call them. Just a little bit. And then all this is dark. There's a lot of darks and lights in here. But the face we pretty much, I think nailed. I think I'm exaggerating a little bit on the eyes, but I think they're in the good place. And it's all just building up the darkness because all this is really still too light. The observation of the light. That video is really good. It talks about that and the practice they would do. Let's see if we go in here really lightly, push this, keep pushing. All this. Even though it's light, it's not white. See this right in here, just pushed it back, just a tone. The nose pops more now. Oh, I can't even see it in the, I can, the camera doesn't pick it up. I can put another shade still. Let me see if you can, yeah, you can see it. Oh, there, that's better. Slight shade there. I'm gonna put another tone, probably go in a different direction. Makes a crosshatch. There you go. Oh, I got a, it's not smooth. Smoothing it out. There it goes. It's out. I just felt it. Little nubs. Yeah, because you can just keep going with the value, pushing it, pushing it. Where you thought it was dark, you need to actually go darker. Where you thought it was light, it needs to go darker. Just like slowly building up your values. Like all in here, all this is really dark. In here it goes into darkness. And have all that. Ooh, soften that up. Yeah, so even before you even go into darker, like let's say you made a mistake, you can actually probably go darker. Like here, all this is probably the dark right in there where that hair kind of comes out. That edge. Make it an edge, not just a line. Yeah, bombers are persistent. They came back. See, that's patience and persistence. The persistence. But we have more persistence.
Or stupidity.
Yeah. Yeah, that one time a student drew a part and And I said, oh yeah, he drew a self-portrait. But yeah, it's silliness, immaturity. You know what? They see it on the TikTok and they think it's funny and they go like, oh, I want to do that too. I'm like, all right. And it's easy to destruct. I mean, it's part of creating, you know, but being constructing is where the game is. Constructing, not destructing. A lot of little shape variations. Part in the hair. All this little detail just takes time. Just doing it, not really explaining the lights and the darks. What I'm seeing. We're just doing it. I'm just doing it now from perspective. Hang in there. We will get to perspective. 9:15 already. Wow, time just flies.
Okay. Thank you so much. Eladio.
All right, you're welcome. Bye, Yelena.
Good night. Yeah,
Good night.
my picture.
All right, you'll have to share next week. Or I don't know. Let's see.
See you.
Okay.
Bye. Good
Bye-bye.
night. Thank
Good
you.
night. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm looking back and forth, trying to capture it. And that just takes time. It just takes time. And all this hair right here is dark, 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 dark. I'm kind of going from left to right so I don't smudge. If you need to get a sheet of paper and put it over your drawing. Oh, here's our motorcycle. Get it, put it over your drawing, make sure it's, yeah, there you go, and then do that. All right, I think I need a little more shadow in here, push this back so I can get some of the values, pushing them. Layering, I'm layering the values, just going little by little, darker and darker. Even though I put shade down, I'm going darker, pushing it a little bit more. Building up the shading, building it up. Softening that nose, looking back and forth. It goes a little bit darker in here, actually. It's kind of interesting, it goes darker. Just slightly, right in here, right in this part, and then it goes lighter. And that just takes, and getting all these little nuances takes time. But I think we captured, or I captured most of it. It's a lot of little shadows of hair up here. Kind of just do that. But not worrying about too much. Let me see. I think we need to bring that shadow in here too a little bit more. Let's push it. There's just these little adjustments. Oh, too dark. Here. Yeah, so take your time. I had a feedback form, but that all the feedback that was given to that disappeared because it was on my school account. So I'm like, no, I downloaded as much stuff as I could before I graduated, before I retired. And that was one thing I missed. So I'm gonna have to make a new one. I still have access to the old one, but I don't have access to the answers because I don't have access to that account anymore. That account has been shut down. All this hair, a lot of darkness. It takes time to shade this. In perspective, actually, is a little faster. I probably should have started with that one first. Perspective. I was debating, like, should we do the perspective first or the portrait first? Right. So just looking at a good thing to do to see the lights and the darks, is to speak right, is to squint. Squint your eyes, see the lights and the darks. You can, that really helps. All this is dark. There's highlights in there. which I can put in with an eraser. But it's this value right in here, this value that's like right in there, all this. Getting these little burrs, that's what it's called. They're called burrs. Burrs on my pencil. Pencil burrs. Then there's the hair, and then there's, I'm leaving that light, and I'm doing dark behind it, bringing that darkness out here. That's how I just did it. So notice I have this value here. I put little hairs, and then I'm keeping the white of the paper because the light's hitting the head. And then I just shade that background. Let me see if I can work my pencil and get the burrs out. Who let the burrs out? There we go, burrs. And then I'm gonna put that shade like back in here. And it's gonna look like the light is highlighting her head. It's just like, oh. It's not a smooth shade. Yeah, capturing the lights and the darks and the different values. Go. Notice how that pops now. If you have questions, throw the questions in the chat. Try to explain stuff, but you might have a challenge with something like, wow, what do I do with here? What do I do with that? If your face didn't come out well, you know, you're practicing your shading. It's all practice. It all comes up. It's a really interesting, I've been developing a model, and it all kind of like goes with what we're doing. And why it's important to learn in that order, because it builds upon itself. You build upon it, like drawing and then the shading, but then you know, it builds. It's probably the most economical way to do it. So you're building on what you're doing. So we'll get those lessons out, the webpage. All right, all the shade, I'm just gonna really quickly get that value in here. I feel the burrs flying out. Yeah, it's really a lot of darkness. Just takes time. All this in here. Different shade, different value. Let's see it coming out. Not too shabby. A lot of little lines. I'm just, we got the mask. I'm putting just the hair lines in the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna, there's more like hair in here, like stuff like that. And probably a little more curvy. Goes into the darkness. I think that's it. Whew. All right, 9:22. We will do the shading, the perspective, and we'll call it a night. How many people are here? Maybe I'm talking to myself. No, we got 20 hardcore heroes. Awesome. Mary here, Anne Francois, Bill. I shouldn't say your last names. I'm gonna cut it out. All right. Shuang, thank you. All right. I like that you guys are having conversations in the chat. Let's see. Carlos, Christine, Conrad, Ellen, Jacqueline, Jane, Julio, Kenny, Ken, Maria. But I can't wait to see your work. I don't know if we should take a little break. I think we should. If you want to share, if you want to continue your drawing, continue your drawing. You don't have to share, but it helps. Or you can share it next week before class, like the 7 to. You're welcome, even though it's beginners. You're welcome to all the classes. Even beginners are welcome to this class. Trying to customize the classes a little bit. We focused on beginners for quite a long time. If you have questions, that's where it's at. Yeah, because there's more form. I'm kind of flattening my shading a lot. There's a lot of textures and other stuff you can start adding in there. But once you have that flat shade, then you can go back in there getting some of the darker darks, pushing the pencil a little bit more. Getting a little bit more. Yeah. All right. And oh, we have a hand. All right, cool. Let's take a look at Jane. See what you got, Jane. All right, what you got? Oh, look at that. Wow.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a challenge. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, you're taking on the challenges. Yeah. That's
Thank you.
good. No, thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Some nice shading and just light stuff. But you're getting there. That's cool.
Thank you.
Practice. Oh, you're welcome. For sharing. Let's go with Pearl. Pearl, what you got? Let's see. Replace. There we go. What you got? Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, you got her subtleness, the values, your value ranges. You're only using one pencil, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Got to get the HBs, got to get the other ones, or push really hard. I don't know. It looks like it's a light pencil. What kind of pencil is that?
It's somebody's school pencil. It
Oh,
says 8th grade. We do it right together.
Awesome. Those are good to just draw. But yeah, when we get to
I think it's a number 2 pencil.
yeah, it probably is. That's the standard. Yeah. Yeah. Proportions are looking at all right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, Anne-Francoise, sorry we missed you on Tuesday. There you go.
Hi.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Whoa. iPad.
Oh, no, who's that? Ah, there you go.
I think I had an issue with the mouth.
Yeah, the teeth.
I mean, I had an issue with everything, but
You're missing the top lip.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's. I think it's. Wait, I've got to turn the lights here. I think it's hard to see. What?
Oh, I see. Now you still need to do the lip dark. I can see it. But it would need to be dark. Usually,
Darker.
yeah. Usually the top lip is darker. Because the way the light comes down on it. Yeah.
But the teeth, I think, I don't know. I think there's not enough. It's either too dark or too light. There's no in between. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like her teeth are coming out of the mouth. It's kind of
yes.
spooky looking. She's
Yeah.
a scary version.
Yeah, you do need more, and they're probably a little bigger. You probably do need to bring them in just a little bit and darken everything too. You need to put a shade in the whole. Oh man, I wish I can have that and put it on a layer, because your skin is really white. So, but the drawing is really good. The drawing is good. Yeah.
How do I bring her teeth in?
Oh, okay.
That's vampire looking.
Tell you what. No, okay, hold on. Let me screenshot you. All right, hold on. There you go. All right, a little further back.
Like that?
A little further back. Bring it up. No, right there. That's good. Up there. Perfect. Can you tilt it forward a little bit? The top.
Forward.
Yeah, there you go. Right there. Okay, cool. Perfect. Let's got it. All right, thank you. All right. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Oh, Mary. All right, let's go, Mary. You're welcome. I'll put it up right now. There you go. Hi, Mary.
I don't think I could do shit. I can't raise my hand.
Oh, there you go. Very nice.
And
You
then I
went
did,
small on it.
yeah,
You're getting it. Yeah, that's good.
I did the eye too.
Oh yeah. Oh great.
That was fun. I just
Yeah.
like doing eyes, so that was just fun.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. All right. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for helping.
No
All
problem.
right. Nicole is next. Her hand is up, but Carlos got his video going, so I don't know. Oh, there you go. There we go. Oh wow! Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah. Nailed it. Let me see a little closer. There we go. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Got the eyes, got everything really nice. Excellent. All right. Yeah, I can see is that your work on the wall? Ah, very nice. Sweet. All right, Carlos, let's go. Let's see what you got. I don't know if you guys want to give each other tips, suggestions. Ah, look at that. Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't easy. It's good. The eyes, love your eyes. Nailed the eyes. All right, cool. All about the practice.
Hmm.
All right. All right, let's go with Ken. Ken, thank you for sharing. Ken, you gotta put your video on. There we go. All right, cool. Good, good, good. Now, yeah, oh wow, look at that. I like that. You actually changed the composition. You made yours horizontally. It looks like you can actually even add more to it and make an illustration.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Like she's looking at, like she's looking into that space. Like, okay, what is she looking at? Like, what is she like hiding from? You can actually a whole story there. Yeah, because you got that space on that left. She's looking at. What is she looking at? Very, very, very nice. All right. Thank you for sharing, Ken. Then I think we did Nicole already. I think let's go Springer and see what you got. I think you might have to. Oh, you just disappeared. Oh, there it is. Oh, for a second. Yeah, hold it at an angle. Yeah, there you go. Wow, there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You, getting the subtle. Oh man, getting the subtle shades is where you guys are getting it. But your drawing's looking good. It's getting those little values. I think with a brush. Yeah, that's that whole digital drawing stuff. But that looks good. I really like that drawing. You really captured like the character. It's just the values. I think that would be the next level. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I don't know if anybody else. Let's. All right, I'm going to share my screen and talk a little bit about values. Show the values that I have here. Oh, that would be good too. Oh, somebody else would like to share?
Yes.
Oh,
can I
hold on,
share?
Maria. Maria,
Yes.
hold on. Let me.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Oh, I just lost you. Oh, where'd you go? Let me see, Maria. Oops. Oh, there you are. Hold on. Let me spotlight you. There you go. Where are you? Oh, there you go.
Wow.
I like the eyes. I like the wow. She looks like she's a model from the '60s. The wow.
Gorgeous.
Sophia Loren, or somebody. Wait a minute. She's like reminding me of somebody. Wow, the eyes are just really captivating. Sweet. Yeah, getting those light shades. Yeah, everybody's having trouble with the shades. I'm going to talk about that right now. All right, great
It's
job.
my first time drawing faces.
Really? Get out of here. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Wow.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
Oh, you're welcome. If that's your first time, wow. All right, I'm doing something, or we're doing something. That's great. Awesome. And it's not the product. I know we're praising it. It's the process. It's the process. The more you process, understand the process, the more you progress. All right, excellent. Thank you for sharing. Wow, first time. But it's not your first time drawing. You've drawn before. You already have a sketchbook. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. That's exciting. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let me share my screen. Wow. Wow. This is why we do it. Yeah. Amazing. Down to 16. That's 16 hardcore heroes. Actually, that's more than before. We'd have 10 people that would stay till 10. And it's already 9:30. So actually we'd go the first times we would go for quite a while. All right. Am I sharing my screen? Oh no, there it is. Not yet. There we go. All right, so we're there, and then let's go to my Photoshop. Let's see, oh, we got this where I was working on. Let's go File, New. Custom. Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot. Somebody's there. Oh, all right. There we go. There we go. All right. And zoom in. Let's crop it. All right. Yeah. Oh man, I wish I had my drawing tablet. I'll use my drawing tablet on this. All right, just crop it and then zoom. Zoom, zoom. There we go. All right. So yeah, you can see the top lip, what I was talking about, and the different values. All this is all white. The drawing is good. Let's take a look at this eye, probably the shape, but that's not a big deal. It's what I'm looking at is really the values. So with these brushes, change the opacity. Like right now, this is at 14. We can actually, let's go here. a lighter gray, but then my opacity is really light. That's what you need to be doing. See how I just really quickly, softly, just darkening this background here. And I can darken this the forehead just slightly. See, and it's those are the adjustments on the side, like right here. Oh, I'm like trying to point to it. This right here, right there. This is Procreate. So yeah, I know Procreate. So that's actually the colored checker down here. This one, that's the opacity. You got to bring that down so you can get these like soft tones. Notice these, I'm putting these values in here now. This value, and then and this softening up this edge. Yeah, see, I can soften up. And the more layers I put on it, the darker it gets. I can let's see. Okay, all in here. Notice how that eye pops now a little bit because it's white against white. You have a polar bear and snow. You want to start getting some of these values, and slowly build them up. Actually, you can actually slowly build them up. Let's see, like even here for this whole neck, I know this neck was darker. Now I'm doing all this from memory. I'm not even looking at the picture. I know that there was the shadow went in there, bringing that darkness, and then the lip, darken that up right in there. Bring it in a little bit. So I'm going to bring it in as well. Yeah, and let's see, darken this edge right in here. So it's not, this brings it some more form to this whole edge right there. As I'm bringing it in, so it's not so flat. Might have to smoothen it out. This bottom lip is a little big too. I'll probably make it a little smaller. So let me see, let's go bring up the opacity. And then let's go black and white. Smaller. Yeah, like in here. Oops. Oh, Control Z, undo. There we go. Yeah, a little bit. There we go. Yeah, the lips a little bit smaller. I went too white. That's okay. Let's bring down the opacity some more. I want to make all these little, because it's really subtle. So I'm bringing down the opacity. All these little subtle changes and softening things up. Right now it's too light, too white, but I did make that a little bit smaller. Let me flip it. Let's see. All right. Let me see. Smudge tool. There we go. Bring that out. There we go. Bring the neck up. Bring that. Give it a little more form. The hair, a little more form, a little darker. In there, I would, let's bring the brush. I got my smudge tool. We can actually, so it depends on how, committed people are. And if you coming in and saying, okay, let's do this, let's work on, because we can get into some electronic stuff, or, I mean, I don't know. Right now, the easiest thing is because pencil, everybody has pencil. All right, so the thickness of the eyebrow, a little bit smaller. Yeah, this is the thickness is probably a little bit thicker. And then here's probably, yeah. And then all this in here, you bring that darkness up. Now it's really soft. I would have to, I know the pencil here is sharpening it up, the hardness. And then I would bring some of that back in smaller, and to bring some of the hard edge. A little bit of hard edges as well. Because it's a balance between the hard edges and the soft edges. This is more of a harder edge here. And let me see, bring that hard edge. In there. Oh, and this is where I can finally bring that in a little bit. Just slightly bring those teeth in. Control Z, undo. Bring those teeth in a little bit. Oh, I didn't do it. I always forget. I do it with my students where I do a different layer, and then I can actually, hold on, I can do it. Magic man. Control Z. Control V. There it is. Oh, I changed the size, but you kind of getting a before and after. Yeah, it's getting those, as you can see, the white and the white. And then the drawing itself. Let me change the size. Control T. All right, hopefully that helps. And that's what I was talking about, and the values. But you know, first you're focused, you can only really focus on one thing. So you are focusing on the right thing, trying to get the face right and getting the proportions. Because the shading and all that stuff, the shading, all that's really, if your structure's not right, which is a part of like the mouth should probably be a little bit smaller. This eye, the shape of it, that all that stuff is where, you know, your main focus should be anyways. All right, cool. And if that helps, hopefully that helps. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat. I see actually.
Thank you, Eladio. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that help? Yes,
Yeah, that was really helpful. That was really great.
She looks
the
very
app-
1920s is what she looks like to me. Doesn't she? Very 20s.
Yeah, the eyes, yeah.
But I still find the teeth very bloody. Is it because the contrast, you know, the teeth look bloody?
Yeah.
Is it because of that black line?
Yeah. I would need to, let me see, I can still work on it some more. Yeah.
I don't want to take anybody's time, but thank you.
No, I think this is learning for everybody. I know it's just we're not into the perspective that it. Oh, wrong layer. Here we go. If I turn this one off, you can see the lines. No, I didn't. All right. Yeah, here you go. Go a little bit darker, and probably even lighter. Let me flip it. Let me see. Let's bring it a little lighter. There we go. Because it's going a little too dark. All this stuff is a little too dark. There we go. There we go. That's it. Because the value's too dark. And that's the thing. You got to squint your eyes and learn to see the values. And even these teeth are too white. So I'm going to go bring up the opacity. I would bring it down and then make it bigger. And then just put a little bit of a shade on it. So pushing the teeth back. There we go. And even with the shade, I can put that shade here around bring the shade up even further. I'm really just pushing the shade. I got softer. I get a softer hardness. Bring that up. And all these adjustments are done in the pencil with the pencil. See, like all this right here would be darker. This eye, I think. Eye is slightly off. Let's see. Let's go back and forth. Yeah, you can see more of a difference. Yeah, and if I'd work on it more, I'm just really quickly just building it up. But you know, it's the value and it's the frame itself. So it's like the frame of the building, the house, getting that framework right. Let's do some more adjustments. Actually. Oops, that's too hard. Down. Let me soften it up. Yeah, all the way. There we go. There we go. Let me see, smaller. And this would take time. And the right in the middle, this is too dark. And that's too dark. Let's see on this eye. Bring it in slightly more. The shape. Slightly. There we go. This pupil probably a little bit bigger. And the shape. So yeah, it's all these little small adjustments. And I'm not looking at the picture, I'm just doing it from memory and from the experience of drawing faces. And you don't want to nitpick, you know, you just do it and let it go, learn from it, and then it's all right, the next one. It's always about the next one, really, you know. Oh, you like this one, wait till you see the next one, right? Because you're always improving. You know, should always be, you know, aiming for that progress. And, here we go, I'm softening that up. Still the teeth, let me see, let me get a little bit of it. But actually, probably be easier to shade the whole thing. There we go. Yeah, it's dark, smaller, it's darker. Oops. All right, so get ready. We're going to be. It's already 9:42. We'll go pretty late. I'm recording, so we're gonna. If you want to see the perspective, the perspective will be there. Well, and then the shade, a little bit of shade under the nose. See that nose? That gives it some form. All these little, just little, and there's a little bit more. I would probably even bring this whole thing up. Yeah, all these just little micro adjustments. Bring up that. I know she's got her lipsticks all messed up. We'll bring this up higher. Just a little bit up higher. There we go. Yeah, that's just little micro adjustments.
Hey, Eladio, we're starting to lose people.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eladio. I really appreciate that. That was.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Yeah.
I have to drop too, Eladio. This is Mary. Sorry.
Okay, Mary. No, that's fine. Thank you for your help tonight.
Yeah,
Put
no
a little
problem.
bit of the highlight right there. The highlight's going to make a difference. And then that's it. Let me. All right, cool. Thank you for coming. Probably share next week. There he goes. That highlight. Ooh, look at that. And let me go back and forth. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, it just takes time. You can see the difference there. There you go. All right, cool. All right, well, let's get to perspective. See who's here.
Great transformation. Thank you so much, Eladio. Have a great night.
All right, good night.
Bye. Thanks.
Right,
bye.
bye.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Oh, we could have copied that too and put it in there. Oh, and even shown that in black and white. Oh, there's a lot of little things. Super great class. Love figurative and portraits. All right, awesome, Springer. All right.
Good night. I have to go too. I'm an old woman, tired. Thank you. Good night.
All right, good night. Good night. 9:44. I don't know. Should we go on with the perspective or save it for next time? We can do it really quick for those of you who are hardcore heroes here waiting out. We'll do something real quick. We've got the that one, the cottage. Oh, all right, cool. So this is the cottage. Let's zoom in on it. And it's really actually pretty simple. It's finding the vanishing points, and the vanishing points are off the paper itself. Oh, you know what also did the tonight we have those bombers. All right, so once you have a line, there it is, right there. Just follow it, and this is good to do. And grab a magazine and then grab and find the vanishing points. See, it's right there. That's where the vanishing point is going to be there, and the other one's going to be. I can estimate it's going to be right about there, right about there. So follow these lines. Oops. I'm not going to put it where it's not. See how far I'm off. Then that one right about there. So yeah, it's a little bit lower. That's where the vanishing point is, right there. So all these lines should go to that vanishing point. Right there. Looks like right about this one. So this, the way this is actually pushed back. This is not on the same or the same height. This is probably a little bit higher, or yeah, that's what's happening there. And there's that vanishing point. Let's see if we have any other things that go to that vanishing point like this. Yeah, here we go. That should go to that vanishing point. This top should go to that vanishing point. There we go. All right. What else? Oh, this line right here. That line was going to that vanishing point right there. It's like the further you can see it, more accurate. And sometimes there's distortion with the cameras and stuff. These angles here are just a part of the roof. This here should be going to this vanishing point over there. Yeah, see that? To that vanishing point. All right, 4 people. Any questions? Should we continue or call it a night? Thank you for hanging in there. Look at this line right here too. I missed this one here. I'm going to that vanishing point. And it's the same thing. It's just all the shading and all the stuff here. Perspective is simple, but not easy. It's simple. It's just the lines have to go to the vanishing points. And it sounds simple, and it is, but it's not easy. It's not easy. These lines here, this might even go out to another vanishing point. Actually, probably the top, way up high. All these lines, if we really follow them. All right, let's see. I don't see if we see any questions for the last 4 people that are here. All right, Mary's gone. Any suggestions from people who are here, if you're still there? If not, well, hey, Ellen. Yeah, Ellen's here. You have a question or a comment? We should just draw it out. Let's just draw it out. All right.
I'm fine either way.
Okay, well, let's do it real quick. Let's just do it real quick. Say we did it. I think we can do this in 15 minutes. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna clear all drawings. Close that. Oh, did I click on it? Something's not working here. Huh, something is stuck. That's weird. Oh, exit. Stop sharing. There we go. All right, let's. All right, for you four hardcore heroes, we'll do this real quick. We won't do all that much detail. We won't do the shading. We'll just do the outline. All right, I copied it and putting it in the chat. There it is. What a night. Oh, I gave it to Springer. Let's put it to everyone. All right, let's do it again. There it is. All right, cool. There's the drawing. And let's draw it out. All right, cool. Here we go. So you will need a ruler. I'm going to just do my space here. The drawing is going to be smaller because my vanishing points need to be off the page. So say there's that. I'm going to put it way over here. I don't know. Way over here. And it's kind of low. And on this, with vanishing points, they're usually on the same horizon line, or also known as the, it's also known as your eye level, because that's your eye level. It's a really low eye level. That's the thing with these vanishing points. So we have two, one there, one there. And here's my paper. We're going to get the closest side of the house to us. We'll get that. That's right about here. I'm freehanding it, getting a vertical line. This is the closest line to us. It's probably a third of the way. Bring it down to right about there. That's it right there. That's it. Notice the spacing. Notice that. So the top and the bottom of this is the line closest to us. The top and the bottom will go to the vanishing point on the left. So on the right, I'm sorry. So we're going in that direction. And then this one, we're going in that direction as well. There we go. That's the rooftops. There we go. Let's bring it a little bit longer. My proportions are, it probably could have been closer. I'm changing the scale a little bit. Oh, restart. Wanting to restart. And then we have the end of that. I'm just going to block the whole building in. And then we got the other line here. Let's do this other side. The bottom coming up a little bit. Straight up and down. That's actually pretty wide on this side. Right there. And then this point and this point needs to go to the vanishing point. There we go, right about there. Actually, not too bad. Right there, right there. I'm just checking it. Because then you have the roof. The roof is back here. Right about there. It's not in the center. It's a little bit further back and steeper here. Let's see that steepness. I'm trying to capture that angle. Right there, and then you have this one right about there. That's almost eyeballing it. These don't go to the vanishing point. That's because the roof is slanted. All right, that looks good. Let's go with this other roof. Let's go this part to the vanishing point. That's the roof. I can block things in just to help with scale. There's the gable roof right here, this gable part. It's going to be in this area right in there. It's going to be in that area. And this actually helps seeing where things are going to be. That's the gable there. This whole other area is this other window and gable on this side. Then you have these windows here. And those are going to the vanishing point. And this does stick out right about in here. Right about in there, it sticks out. In here, it sticks out. I would probably say right about there. Just sketching it in. And then you got this window or something in here sticking out as well, right about there. Then, see, that's already kind of looking like it. Got the planks. All these planks actually go to this vanishing point. All these little lines right here should be going to that vanishing point. You can do that really quick. Put it there. Doing a lot of freehand stuff, but so easy peasy. Yep. See that? Now, ready? Everything else is just putting it in this side of this window. We're going to go left to right. Actually, let's do that. Let's put the tree in. We're going to do everything left to right. We'll do this real quick. In 5 minutes, we're going to finish this. So the tree's like right in here. No vanishing points. It's just in there. Comes up like this. Then all the little branches and cross branches and all that stuff. And then a little shrubbery. Let's do it real quick. Back here, there's a little bit of a shrub as well. Shading it in. Some trees back here. Shading them in just real quick. Losing a lot of people. Yeah, we lost a lot of people. Wow. Oh, tough night, tough crowd. We stuck it out. We'll see. Wow, we had a whole barrage of. They're gonna be back. I can feel it. I feel they were upset. We might have to. Well, we'll see how the meet and greets go. The meet and greet is good because then we can see if they're here. Shut it down. Maybe even start the class early. All right. So left to right, we're going. Let's get this box in. That's that vertical. The bottom of the box should be going to the vanishing point. The bottom of the box is the vanishing point. The box window. Brought it up a little bit. And then all the little details and stuff. Now, the thing with this window here, these two lines should actually be going to this vanishing point on the right, but it's really small. So it's like this. Let me draw it bigger. So you have this top line like that going to this vanishing point. Then you have these two lines going back. Those two should be going to the vanishing point on the right. We only have two vanishing points. Then you have this back line. That one should be going to the vanishing point to the left. So something like that. And then you have that window right in there like that. You have that thickness of that window. And if you want all the little, the framing, the thickness, all have to follow those simple rules, simple but hard rules. Because your brain wants to change it. You're like, no, you got to just follow the rules. The lines need to go to your vanishing points. All right, so the top of this line goes down to this vanishing point. Because you want to straighten it out. Just follow the rules, trust the rules to the vanishing point. From left to right. There we go. So there's that box window real quick. All these lines are just vertical. Yeah, so here the lines are vertical or to the vanishing points, and there's two vanishing points. This is vertical, this vanishing point. I know this line here goes to the vanishing point, so it should be kind of almost parallel to that line. This is so close. Then here, this line's going up in that direction. Then the framing. I'm just sketching it in, just following the rules. Just by I'm not using the ruler. There's a thickness. This comes down to that vanishing point, and that thickness in there would be dark. All right. Am I talking to myself? No, we got 4 people. That's great. Oh, tough night. Will we? Stuck it out. All right. So like right in here, this is where that gable is going to be. So I'm gonna go here, here, the thickness. And then I know the bottom goes to the vanishing point. I'm just gonna guess. I can see that. See, between that line and this line. There's that line. And then all the other stuff. Bring that gable back. Bring this. Oh, this line needs to, oh, this line right here needs to go to this vanishing point. Let's put it in. This, from this gable. This gable, I'm kind of following that line. And I think I widened it slightly more than it is, but it's all right. But here from this point to that point, and then up to this line, this vertical line right here. There we go. And then this to that vanishing point. There it is. All right, and there's thickness to this. The roof, there's a little bit of thickness to it, so I'm gonna thicken it up. And there's as well. Let's put these lines in here. And then the framing, that window, line there, little lines. It's just following the rules, following the rules, following the rules. There's that, there's that. This square right about there, I'm just freehanding it. Do shade, put a little bit of shade in there. See if they're windows. Goes all the way down, just about. Then it sticks out, comes out, sticks out. Won't worry about it, it's way far. Here, straight up and down, straight up and down. I'm getting that width. I know the top line is, I think, is it a little bit higher, a little lower? No. Yeah, a little higher than the roof, but not as high as that one. That one would come up there. This is going to be right about there. Freehanding it. Then we got the side. This top line, again, should be going to that vanishing point down. This is at an angle. I'm following that angle from there from the roof. The front of the window. There we go. And the lines, they should be getting closer together as they go further back. Oh, bring this window down. And then the grass, grassy knoll, the little grassy area here. Let's put a little bit of grass and finish this up. And this coming at an angle here. Oh, that doesn't, oh, that's interesting. That's a different angle. That's interesting. Well, it's not parallel. No, it's not. That's pointing to a whole different. Then there's another little house back here or something with a wall or shaded in. Let's add some tree scribble, and that's it. If you want to add some shading, we can add some quick shade to it. Give it some more mass. Keep some of the lights light. This side actually goes darker. So I'm gonna go try to push it a little bit more without losing my drawing. Especially right at the edge, Your eye goes straight to the edges. And that's because to watch out for things. Really, we don't really see what's going on in the middle. It's really the edges that really help. Yeah, there it is. Blah, blah, blah. Let's zoom in. All right, we're done. We're done with our first ever intermediate to advanced class. And whew, we got a lot to learn, as far as teaching wise, like timing and all that stuff. You know, and that's what happens on your first, right? Your first kiss, your first time tying your shoes, your first, oh man, first time with driving, first time, you know, it is what it is. And you got to accept it. You know, you're just getting on, knowing, okay, I'm just getting on. And, you know, which is awesome. It leaves a lot of room for improvement. He's like, okay, what am I going to work on next? All right, timing. We're going to do less of that. And then I'll look at my video and see, okay, I need to work on this. I need to work on that. And that's what it is. That's how you improve. You look at what you need to work on. And, you know, is it ratios? Is it shading? Is it what am I working on? And kind of focus on that and go through that phase. And then you just do it automatically. You don't even think about it. It just becomes automatic. It's simple. It's simple, but not easy. But when you do it and you don't even think about it, you just do it without thinking. All right. Thank you for you're welcome, Jane, hanging out. And Jacqueline and Ellen, troopers. I'll take questions. If any questions or if you want to request the next drawing, because you guys are here. I really like seeing and rewarding people who are putting the commitment, putting the time and the effort. And really, if you guys are going to do that, I can follow what your requests are.
I already sent you my pictures of bugs for next week.
All right, buds. Oh yeah, the bugs.
Bugs.
Oh yeah, those were great. Those are great. Any ones in particular? There's quite a few.
No, it was just a nice picture of a selection. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a great selection.
I like to send you selections so you can pick, although then you went and did them all.
Okay. Yeah, I like all the did you submit the Alice in Wonderlands and the
No, I did the dancers and the lighthouses.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those were good. Yeah, it was good. It was a good night. I don't know what you thought. It was a little challenging, but
the dancers were really good warm-up. Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm gonna stop the recording. I'm gonna cut all that. I don't know. I tried blurring out faces.